Hello and welcome to another GLG Let's Play. Today we'll be playing Company of Heroes with the Blitzkrieg Mod version 4.8. I think this is actually 4.8.1.2 if I remember correctly, but I could be wrong. Today we'll be doing a skirmish match. Probably just a 2 versus 2 4-player game. I don't really want a giant map. Maybe something just a little bit smaller. Wolfheise is a little bit too small. Via River Valley. I don't know. The bridges tend to screw up with when the computer tries to drive over them. Because we're just going to be doing a playing with the computer today. Saint Hilaire. Let's do Road to Montherme, and I'll be playing as the. Let's play as a Wehrmacht. Let's do that. You know what? I'll just keep these on normal. Don't want to make this overcomplicated. Population cap 225. Starting location fixed. High resources. Makes the game start off a bit faster. All right, I think we are ready to go. Let's start this off. Alright, so while it's loading, if you're not familiar with the Blitzkrieg mod, you can check out my review, but in a nutshell, it adds a bunch of new vehicles. Almost all of them are historically accurate. There's some of them I'm not sure, but the new vehicles are great. There's new skins. Just adds a lot to the game, and changes some of the dynamics, makes some of the units a little bit more lethal, like the infantry are a little bit more vulnerable, but still useful. Alright, so I'm not even going to bother trying to build another Pioneer squad, because I don't use these guys a whole lot. Not a fan. Okay, so while I'm already going to be clicking escalate to skirmish phase, so that I can get started. As soon as it's done, we want Volksgrenadiers, and we'll probably do an MG machine gun. And then as soon as escalate to skirmish phase is complete, we can build the Krieg barracks, so we can build the actual full-fledged grenadiers. So while it's doing that, if there's a nearby resource, like that one, I can have my pioneers start capturing it. So as far as these doctrines go, I don't do a whole lot of the defense. That's going to be like really artillery oriented. You get some really good anti-tank emplacements. I don't do a whole lot of that terror doctrine. It's going to be like you get a lot more of those special abilities that boost the morale of your unit and also instill fear in the enemy. It's cool, yeah, but not a fan. Blitzkrieg is generally the route I go, because it's all those things that you want. Good tanks, good infantry, like the infantry assault team. Those are the stormtroopers, and then you get the awesome Panzer IV H&J models, and then the Tiger tank relatively quickly. These are taking a long time, it feels like. So I got my Volksgrenadiers capturing that. MGs are good to go. I want to put my MGs in a location that's going to be strategically beneficial. I really think this house would be good. I always try to put them in a house. Alright, that fuel is captured. Fuel. I know I'm going to need that. So that's all done. I can now build the Krieg barracks, because skirmish phase is complete. And as soon as Krieg barracks is complete, then I can escalate to assault phase. And that's when I'm going to start. I'm a big fan of, I don't think that they're on this menu. Well, you can see them down here. The Stug assault guns, like the Stug 3. The Stug 3 and the Panzer IV are really like the backbone of my forces. Okay, now I can build, with that I can start building full-fledged grenadiers. I'm probably going to hold off on that for a moment. And I have these half-tracks that are kind of pricey. But I'm really interested in escalating to assault phase, so I'm actually going to hold off on that. I'm going to go ahead and build those grenadiers. Looks like he's already going to capture that point. I already have my machine gun in that building. I want my Volksgrenadiers to capture this point, and then they'll capture this fuel point. Let me take a look at the map real quick, just so I can see what I'm dealing with. The big fuel point is up there in the top right hand corner, so that's going to be a priority. I'm really going to heavily defend this right side, because I'm going to need to retain these fuel points, because that one is a low, and he's already capturing that, and I think this is a medium. I think we just had a helicopter fly over. Kind of shook the house a little bit. It's probably a Chinook. Alright, so my grenadiers are good. I'm going to have them capture that. And I'm going to start dedicating resources to defending this up here. So in the meantime, I'm going to send some of my pioneers up here, because they have, if I remember, yep, they have the MG emplacements, and I have more than enough resources to at least put an MG there. So an MG on the far right, a machine gun in the house here, leaves the left a little bit weak on defense, but I'm not that worried about it. So there's my pioneers. If you haven't noticed, I tend to click around on the map a little bit. I'll try to do it less, so it's a little bit easier to follow. It's just the edge scrolling is a little bit slower. I know you can increase the speed, but I definitely prefer the mouse clicking on the map, just to quickly, you know, snap to where the action is or where my units are. Another thing with this Blitzkrieg mod, wait, move these guys behind cover here. Something I noticed I had to learn with the German infantry is, because they're using that Kar 98 bolt action rifle, I kept getting my ass handed to me by the American rifleman squads, because I was shooting and moving with these. Oh, there's a truck there. They should have their Panzerschreck. Yep, they do. I think I can at least start capturing this with my pioneers. Boom! There we go. Good. So I'm gonna actually have them take over capturing that, and I need these guys to. You know, I can't build here until I capture it first. Okay, then they're gonna get behind this heavy cover. Hopefully, this machine gun and the house there works well. Alright, so the first thing is increases the production speed of the Panzer factory. I'm gonna hold on, I'll save my points. We will need another pioneer squad, and we will need another grenadier squad, and possibly a mortar squad, but we can wait on that. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and help my ally out here. He has these Volks grenadiers here who we're gonna get I'm gonna try to scoot around this machine gun here. The problem is there's no cover. This road, that's what that red shield means. It means, if you don't know, there's little to no cover. And there's an asshole sniper over here, but all I need to do is take out that Jeep. Boom, and I think that's really gonna help. Even though my ally already retreated, that's okay. Let's get this MG nest here. I want to put it in a good, kind of too close. Trying to get it in a position where it'll provide good cover. There we go. I think that'll work well. While these guys are building, I need to ensure that they don't get mortars or a pain in my ass when it comes to see, these guys should be able to take on that Jeep. Good. I'm really glad I got that Panzerschreck. That's really useful. You know, these guys are probably not going to make it. All I need to do is stall for time until this MG emplacement is done. Yep, I really hate to see these guys go. I'm going to retreat him. I really hate to see him, especially with that veterancy. Machine gun nest ready. I'll retreat them. He should be live. There we go. See, now he's laying down fire, and that's going to protect that fuel point, which is going to be critical for me. I have another Panzer Grenadier squad. I'm going to... one thing I do like about this map is these trees provide excellent cover for infantry. And with this Blitzkrieg mod, the infantry work great. So I want to start turning out some of these tanks. I already have, what's it called? Assault phase in the works. As soon as those guys are done, I'm going to go ahead and build a tank buster squad and a mortar squad. this machine gun was a very good idea. That one there is still up. Really, this left side here, because I have these 2 fuel points, even though they're both low, there's 2 of them there, and I think that's a total of 8. I need to start working on capturing and defending those. So I'm actually going to negotiate these grenadiers this way. I'll have him link up with these guys as soon as he's done. He's complete. So I'll move them up and link them up, because these 2 squads together will be pretty tough. Not too bad. I'm going to start hotkeying these guys. Engineers, I almost always have 3. Infantry is hotkeyed to 1. There's my other squad. Still moving up. And then I usually do my infantry assault vehicles like the Stug 3s as hotkey 2. Alright, so I'm going to have these guys move up into cover there. I need some cover there. I try to spread these guys out in the event that we get mortars incoming. I want to reinforce that other Pioneer squad. Build my Panzer factory so I can start rolling out the Stug 3s, one of my personal favorites. And then we're going to put a squad of tank hunters up here. This MG nest will take care of the infantry just fine, but in the event that he starts rolling out Stuarts, which he will any moment now, my tank Panzerjäger squad will take care of that. Alright. So while these guys are capturing, I need to put these guys in a good defensive position in case someone tries to sneak up on them. As soon as that's done, I should have Stug 3 available. And I have enough. That's good. I really like these Stugs. Low slung, turretless chassis. If you plan it right, you don't need a turret. That's how I feel about that. Turret is nice. I think a turret is a luxury. Are these guys in range for this gun? Yeah, I think this is working very well. But what I've noticed, the trend, at least with the computer, when he starts, you see a big, heavy group of infantry here, usually right behind them, you'll start seeing tanks. The computer, I think, has a tendency to assault one point. Now, see, after I got these, I want to put try to put these machine gun nests like in a corner here, so it's hard to flank them. So I'll have these guys defend here until the building is complete. In the meantime, my Stug is ready. I need those side plates more than anything else. Maybe I have enough ammunition for high explosive shells. I'll go ahead and equip those and move them up here to help this. That turret, the machine gun nest worked very well. So what I tend to do is, on a narrow map like this, I will defend the far sides, left and right, leaving the center a little bit weak, because if the center is weak, that's less travel distance. So I'm trying to verbalize this. Less I'm canalizing him down the center, so he has to attack down the center. So I'm going to move this Stug up on the right, and then eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually link it up with my infantry. Some, what are these? Infantry assault teams. I have the capability to produce these Stormtrooper half-track, so I can request those Stormtroopers immediately. So these guys are ready. The machine gun nest is up. I can retreat my Pioneers, and then I can move these. See, there they are. I'll put this guy in rapid firing position, but this Stug, I think, has enough frontal armor that these Stuarts aren't going to be able to touch it. Oh, I was not expecting that. That was probably a mistake of mine. I can at least maybe flank these guys. Get these guys at least a good machine gun. See, my Stug 3 took care of that. I'm actually going to move him up a little bit. These Stug 3s are good against, how are these guys? Not too bad. I can keep rolling with them, at least until my infantry half-track is complete. My fear of these infantry is they can easily overwhelm my Stug. So I'm going to pull them back, engage rapid firing position, and high explosive shells, and that should take care of all of them. And then I already have... See, these guys are getting pinned. I need to pull them back. these guys need to assume at least partial cover here. And I think that'll work very well. Yeah, there we go. Infantry half track. I'll move it up, and then I usually have them fight just to the rear. I think we can start moving into Endsieg phase. I think that'll be fine, and then alright, we got some Stuarts on the left. I'll produce another Stug 3, and that'll take care of those as soon as these guys are done. Where's my other infantry squad? A little bit weak on the left. I'm kind of going strong right. I should be the other way. I should be strong left, but that's okay. So let me put him in a position where he can kind of shield these guys. I think this will work well. Yep. Is my Stug complete? Mortars. Alright, so what I'm going to do is follow up. In case I'm expecting a strong infantry assault, I want combat support, another one of my favorites. Okay, so there's my Stug, halt, side armor. I don't have enough for the high explosive rounds. That's fine. Side armor is what I'm more worried about. Because these guys, these Stuarts, especially, sometimes the Shermans, some more infantry. I think this Stug will be just fine. I just need to place him too far. I'm looking at these range fans here. I want them just in range. That's all I ever want. It's just in range. Because these American tanks, they might have decent little pop cannons on them, but they, the damage decreases with range. However, these, I think this is a 75mm, I want to say, off the top of my head. Maybe less. He needs to move up further. I think he's being blocked by this little hut there. They still maintain power with range, and I might lose that machine gun nest, but that's okay because it is serving its intended purpose. There. He can take care of these, no problem. See, they're already damaged. If I can get some pioneers up here to begin repairs on that machine gun nest, that would be great. Alright, what's going on with my infantry? Did I... Oh, I'm getting mortared. Ah. That's what I get for not paying attention. Okay, mortars will pull back. That's really too bad. Okay. We will summon combat support right here down the center. Perfect. We want to start rolling out Tiger tanks. I can start rolling out... I'm going to hold off on the Panzer IV. I don't really see a need at the moment. Eventually I might, but I think he's doing just fine. I actually think he can camouflage. Let me see if I can camouflage him. It's because he's close enough to this half track, he can reinforce. I'll move the Stug on the left up to provide cover. If I can get him close enough to these trees, I think I can. My goal here is to camouflage him, and I believe they have the capability. It'll replace rapid fire position over here. I'm not seeing the option. Maybe they don't have the capability. Alright, so I'm pushing up left, pushing up right, but not particularly strong in either direction. Where's combat support? So combat support granted me an H model Panzer IV and some Volksgrenadiers. We're going to go ahead and push up down the center with these. That's fine. And these guys will utilize the tree line while the tank maintains the road. This will provide defense on the left, defense on the right, and assault down the middle. I think that'll work good. I'll have these infantry link up. I will hotkey my mortars as 3, infantry as 1, and the Panzer IV is 2. So I have my infantry assault force moving up the center. These Panzer IVs are not foolproof. They can be destroyed, and actually, especially late game, they get destroyed relatively easily, but I have been systematically denying the computer the opportunity to, I just stole the BAR squad automatic weapon that was lying on the ground there. I denied the computer the opportunity to acquire fuel, so I shouldn't be worrying about too many tanks on his side. That's why I've been really investing in these Stug 3s. So I'm gonna kind of do a bounding movement here. So I've already pushed up the center, so I'm gonna push up on the left. And I'm trying to, with these Stugs, one thing I also really like about them is if you do it right, you don't have to worry about the infantry. I maintain this standoff. That's why I don't hug the trees here, because then they can sweep around the sides and engage the Stug from a closer distance. It can sneak up on it, if you will. So again, having the infantry utilize the tree line. And I use the tank as a shield. Mortars following up behind. I think we can move this Stug up to about here and be safe. See, now we're starting to... There we go. That's what I was waiting for. The M4A3 Sherman. That is going to definitely be competition against my Stug 3. That's why we need to start completing our Tiger tanks, which I haven't been completely on top of, but that's okay. Build a heavy panzer factory there. Okay, so we need to lock them down, rapid firing position. Hopefully this Panzer IV will, sorry to say, will act as a decoy, and I can start, this Stug will start actually taking shots on that Panzer IV, on that Sherman, excuse me. This Panzer IV will be decent competition against the Shermans, but ultimately the Tiger tank would be... Alright, I'm gonna keep my infantry back now. I'm gonna use my mortars to start engaging these flak weapons here. I can move my Stug up. In fact, I'd like to support my ally here by conducting repairs on his Panzer IV. Something's engaging these mortar teams and I don't know what it is. Forgot about my infantry half-track here. I'm conserving my resources for the Tiger tank. Just activated, and then we can build the Panther tank, but to be fair, honest, the Panther tank is less expensive, correct, but the Panther tank does not have the durability of the Tiger tank, at least in this game. The Panther tank is supposed to have excellent frontal armor. Does it have excellent frontal armor in this game? I really do not think so, and I don't know exactly why. My problem with... I can't move my infantry up. I'd really like to, because the infantry will solve a lot of these problems, but I need to eliminate these heavy machine gun nests. Let's see, what else do I have? I want fuel supplies, so I can request the fuel. So, wow, the Tiger tanks are really expensive. As they were. See, my pioneers are conducting these repairs. One machine gun nest on the right was destroyed. I want to support my allies, Puma. So I'll move my Stug up. Halt, rapid firing position. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing these bounding movements, moving my Stugs up on the outside. No threat on the far left. I can actually start scooting in and start encircling these main bases here. I'd really like to destroy this motor pool and these tank factories to eliminate that capability. Keeping my infantry in the wood line over here safely at a distance of these, which there are none. Great. So I want to conserve my grenadiers, the shitty Volksgrenadiers down here. I will have them capture that machine gun because it'll only help me. And now what's going to happen is I believe these are in range of each other. So more than likely I will lose this squad. But I'm willing to make that sacrifice. Let's see if they start firing on each other. Let's retreat and back behind. We can move this mortar squad up a little bit further. These guys can start capturing these points. And my Tiger tank might not even see too much action. I was going to build the tank commander, but I'm not too worried about it. We don't need it. A Tiger tank will do just fine. As soon as we hit 850 manpower, we'll start producing, we'll request some more combat support, which we can do. Put it right behind here. If you're not familiar, what the combat support does is it will request some sort of vehicle and some sort of infantry unit. You might get a Stug 3, you might get a Stug 4. Something's happening here. Move these back. Some sort of an attack taking place. There. Nope, that's not our infantry support. Where's our support? Tiger tank. Doesn't really matter where we put them, either way. See, now my ally is starting to roll out some of these vehicles. The computer tends to take the approach of just drive up as close as humanly possible with no concern as to which direction your vehicle is facing. So his tank there, his rear is facing the bulk of the enemy. So that's what he does. That's just, you know, the price of playing with the computer. So they gave me a Stug 4 late version. These are great. These are really great vehicles. Alright, I'll just go ahead and max out that top line. Now, these are going to be your vehicle, available vehicles. So Tiger Ace support is great. The Tiger Ace is good. It is not, however, the type of vehicle that is the win vehicle. For example, if you were to play as the Panzer Elite and you take the Tank Hunter Doctrine, in place of the Tiger Ace support on the far end there, you will get the Jagdtiger Ace, which, if you're not familiar, the Jagdtiger is a the turretless model of the Tiger tank. I believe has like a 120 plus millimeter cannon, very large bore cannon, and it has no turret, and it's not exactly low slung either. It actually sits really tall. But that vehicle is a mobile fortress. It is almost impossible to destroy. So getting that vehicle is sort of like the win vehicle, which is not entirely accurate because the novel Tigers in the Mud talks about a lot of the deficiencies of the Jagdtiger. I'm a big fan of the Tiger. However, it was very expensive, and there weren't very many of them. And near the end of the war, the crew and the commanders were not terribly experienced. So, especially among the Jagdtiger companies. But that's just my little bit on that. So I think we're looking really good. We already got a Tiger in. There's no armored threat. And at this point, it really is just mop up. I have them completely surrounded. My infantry barely played a role here. My stormtroopers. I can go ahead and try to keep my mortars. Mortars are really easy to kill. Trying to keep them out of sight. Well, with that indirect, they can load round or lob rounds into here. I just want this to go faster now. One thing that is a little irritating, if you watched my review of the Blitzkrieg mod, I found it to be vastly superior to Company of Heroes 2. I'm not knocking Company of Heroes 2. If that's your game, that's cool. It's just not really my thing. I found they made it a little bit more. I don't know if cartoony is the word, but that's the word I'm gonna use. Cartoony. You know, your units. You fight the game like this. This is like how you look at your units. You know, you're really getting in that close. So I need to be able to see the battle. I need to see what's on my left and my right. Let's take a look at the after effect. Okay, so we were just playing against normal CPU opponents. Wasn't really that hard. Maybe the next one I'll bump these guys up to hard or something. I generally do. I do play it on hard, but the games last a lot longer, and it wouldn't be as entertaining of a video, I think, if it lasted, you know, an hour and something. Our game time here was 28 minutes. So infantry. Let's see. We have 31 casualties, 314 killed, which is what, 10 to 1? That's pretty good. You know, and then no vehicles lost, 13 destroyed. These numbers are kind of to be expected playing against, you know, just normal CPU components. I'm by no means a expert on Company Heroes. Great, so I did pretty good. Maybe on the next one I'll play as the Americans or British. I actually really like the artillery capabilities of the British, so that can be a lot of fun too, playing like a defensive style gameplay. But that concludes this Let's Play. If you have any suggestions, comments, or anything like that, please let me know in the comments, and thank you for watching.